There we go. Fuck, it's been a while.
When was the last time?
Shit. I don't know.
It was about a month ago.
It's been a while. It's been a while since I saw you.
Are you serenading me right now?
It should be.
Are you happy to see me? Damn, you know what?
No, I'm happy to be able to drink a beer and not fucking feel like I'm gonna die because of it.
That's true. I got a couple concerns. I was like, is he okay? Why is he only drinking water? It's not the same without him.
I know it's not the same. Like if you're not drinking, dude. Like even when I go to the bar and I can't drink, I'm like, man, what the fuck, dude? Like, what am I doing out here? Like, what's going on with my life?
That's true.
No, it's shit like that. But no, I'm glad I can have a beer now.
Nice. Well, when was the last time you had a beer? Prior to, I guess.
Prior to last Saturday?
Yeah.
When Joey came down was the first time I had one. So it had been a while. It had been like about 2 months, por ahí. And then seeing people drink and you're like fucking sitting there being miserable sucks.
Seriously. Yeah, people were like all seeing you yawn and shit.
I know, man.
Like, yeah, this is pretty boring, I know.
You know what's the ironic thing about today? We're sitting here talking about health, right? So health. Yet here we are chugging a fucking beer. Oh, how ironic.
Wasn't that, it's a double-edged sword, right? Because you have a beer to relax you, but.
It is true, but we got a six-pack.
Yeah, no. But
So
I mean, it's just a few beers. What can it do? Probably a lot of damage, right? Somebody's going to call us out. That's a lot of carbs.
Or a lot of damage to your liver way. I mean, it's one or the other.
I saw a meme I think Phil posted.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Phil because that boy can hang.
Oh,
but
fucking...
that your liver is bigger than your heart for a reason.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, so I guess we touched on the topic already, right? It's health. And if I don't mistake, I think we said it last time, no we?
Shit, don't.
And the last time we talked about it because you came down here with the COVID.
Ah, and I had allergies, homeboy.
Nah, play that shit was the COVID because you were sneezing the motherfucker. That is known as the COVID nowadays. All right.
Anything with sneeze, cough.
Way if you fucking te rascas, way that's a fucking
touch your
COVID
eyes. Way. What's the other symptoms? Sneeze, cough, fever, chills.
You know, right now, just runs, touch your eyes.
No bullshit. The runs.
Yeah, the runs. That is true. Yesterday, my students were talking about like, cause you know they come back with their hands wet because they wash their hands, and then they started talking about like, so do you do you wash your hands after you go to the restroom? And I was overhearing this conversation, and I was like, I hope they do, cause damn, they fucking touch a lot of shit. So, you know, it's cochinos. I hope they do wash their hands, cause if not, bro, that's nasty.
You know what's pretty crazy? It's one of those that you never realize it until you have to go through it, right? You know, people never really. I won't say that they didn't care about hygiene, but they didn't care about other people, or they didn't pay attention to other people's hygiene until now. They're like, oh, you sucio. Like, oh, look at that guy doesn't fucking put on his mask in the store. Oh, look at that guy has his fucking mask below his nose.
I know, dude. Or I think it's a raza la nariz or tapa la boca or something.
Dude, I even feel guilty sneezing under my mask.
I know, dude. And then, see, the thing about me is, like, I see them do that with their hand, and I'm like, what the fuck are they going to touch next? Just so that I know I don't touch it. So it's gone to the point where we're fucking scared of this shit.
But I guess that's the ironic part, right? Is that you don't really care about health until something happens.
Yeah. Yes, I guess right now, especially it heightened it more with COVID because of quarantine. Dude, when we had to go in quarantine back in March, like at first you're like, oh yeah, you know what? I'm going to be fucking off of work y todo el pedo. And then you realize that everything else closed too. And you're like, what the fuck? Like there's nothing to do.
What do I do?
There's absolutely not a damn thing you can do. And that's when you realize, that, dude, this fucking COVID thing sucks.
Yeah.
Like, it fucking blows. And then with work, too, like, you got to be out for 14 days. Y toda la cosa. Man, it's a headache,
Well,
dude.
the cool thing was, I mean, I won't say cool thing, right? But at first, when it all started, those 14 days were paid.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
And by the government, too.
That one-time check?
That one-time check.
But yeah, and then now it's like, oh, you got COVID. Work from home.
Yeah.
No, you don't get it paid unless you work.
No, and then the same thing with the students, you know, because back in the days, oh, I'm sick, I stayed home, y todo el pedo. Oh, I'm sick. All right, then you're working from home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, and I think they were looking at that too. Like, the government is actually looking at going more digital because they realize that they spend way less upgrading internet than what they do with like paper, like making copies.
Know,
y todo el pedo.
That's tough though.
¿Por qué, güey?
I don't know. It's like not every kid learns the same.
Well, of course not. But
so it's like, how do you know, some of these kids aren't tech savvy, so that's already against them. Granted, the educational system is probably not built for everybody, so
it's not.
And then you throw in this curveball at them, and then you're just like, well, fuck. You know, why am I even getting
this generation is tech savvy though. This generation has social media. This generation has all these.
Well,
apps
only because they have it doesn't mean they have access to it.
A lot of them do. You know how cheap it is nowadays that they have access to it.
I don't know.
When you see kids in elementary school who already have a phone, you're like,
well, that's
hail
rich kids,
to the
though.
no.
That's rich kids.
I'm like, hail to the no.
There's
player.
kids out there that don't have those same amenities or luxuries. You know, that their parents are like, no, we ain't getting a tablet because we can't afford a tablet because we can't afford internet.
That is true. So, but on that flip side, you know, schools do issue out those Chromebooks. So even if it's just to complete work, hey, you know what? It is what it is. You can't be como dicen, beggars can't be choosers, way.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, no, but hey, you know what? We strayed away from the conversation.
Yeah,
we went on
it's not an educational
on a deep,
topic.
well,
I guess it is educational,
COVID
but not
thing.
that much educational.
But you know, I actually got COVID. I don't know if it was in June or July, and I got it when I came back from floating the river. Well, I didn't go float the river, but I was at the river, the Guadalupe River.
Yeah.
So like a day or two later, I felt like shit. And I thought I was like, oh, you know what?
You felt like shit that day. That day you were at the river.
No, I was fine. I was completely fine. Then, but the thing was that I was just like, damn, dude, like I felt like shit. I was tired. I felt dehydrated, and then I was like, oh, you know what? It must have been the sun. It was the sun that got me tired because it was hot that day, dude.
I guess summer.
And you know those rivers over there, like cold ass water. Yeah. So you get in the water and it's cold as shit, and then you get out and it's hot as fuck. So I was like, all right, it was that. Y ya después pasó 2 days. No te
pusiste zapatos por eso, güey.
Sí, güey. Y ya después pasó, güey. And then like it got worse. I was like, oh shit. I got the COVID. I was like, I definitely got the COVID.
When you said it, you were like, you for sure knew it. You were just fucking around. Or like, oh, I probably got it.
Okay, I didn't for sure know. I probably got it. Yeah, because mom had it, you know. So
mom and dad had it. Well,
so that's why I was like, I was like, damn, I finally got it. You know, that's the reason why I led to believe that shit. But where I'm going with that is the fact that, you know, there's no real medicine for this.
Yeah,
so they came up with like home remedies.
Mm-hmm.
They had mom like it was the concoction of
was it like some Advil or
it
some
was
shit
a leaf
popped open.
It was a leaf with
like
limon, and it was just enough to drug you up, and it tasted horrible.
Well, I remember she said she gave it to you the first time,
dude. That shit
and you
was
didn't
horrible.
taste it. You were like, you just took it, and then the second time, I guess you had your taste buds back, and then you had it, and you were like, what the fuck is this?
Dude, that shit is terrible.
But then again, what home remedy is good?
I mean, el miel con limón, güey, está chingón.
Is it? Oh, that sounds disgusting.
No, well, you're disgusting, way.
I don't know. You were disgusting with your COVID.
Yeah. No, but you know what? I kind of was, but like I really didn't do much about it, you know, until I was really like fucking oh shit, like I'm sick, you know, like I'm really fucking sick, like I can't fucking move. I just laid in bed like you know, when like you see kids who are about to get their ass kicked and they just lay in the fetal position, so they don't really take a full blunt force. Yeah, that's the same thing. I was just like todo tirado como pendejo, güey. So it brought me to like the conclusion that us as Hispanics, as Mexicans, that's what we tend to do. We tend to wait till like it gets really, really aggravated, till it gets really bad, you know, so that we can actually do something about it. You know, we're not proactive, we're reactive. So we react instead of like trying to be cautious and shit. We do our own thing, y ya cuando estamos ya básicamente muertos, we're like, all right, fuck it, I gotta go to the doctor, way.
You know, it's kind of crazy though, because like you feel sick, right, and you feel like shit. And granted, I'm saying pre-COVID, And then you start recovering, and then the your homies ask you like, hey, let's hang out or whatever. And you're like, I'm not feeling well. I don't really feel like drinking. They're like, it's fine, just come chill. And then you go chill with them, and they're offering you a beer, and you're like, nah, I don't really feel well. And then you're like, fuck, you know what? I feel okay. And then you have that beer, and then the next day you're like, fuck, I shouldn't have had that beer. Made it worse.
No, you're like, I shouldn't have gone out. Because already, like, you can't trust yourself,
That's true.
And you always tell yourself, all right, man, you know what? This time, this is the day I'm going to limit myself to one.
And it never works.
Vale queso, güey. Vale queso. I'm like,
but I think, I don't know. I mean, partially that mentality of, I'm going to wait until, I guess, I can't take it or no more mentality. It has to do with the factors of things, right? It's probably a cultural mentality, an income factor. And what else could you say is out there?
I was actually going to go on the fact that it's more of like, hey, man, I got to go to work. Like, this can't keep me off of work deal, Like,
that's true.
Like, I don't care if I'm dying. I got to make it out to work. I have to.
I got to pay the bills.
If I can't go to work, that's when I'm like, all right, I got to go to the doctor.
That's true.
And that happened to me because, my sugar level spiked. And I was dizzy, dude. I was like, it was horrible.
That was like 2 months ago, right?
Yeah, it was 2 months ago. My sugar level spiked.
And that's why he wasn't drinking.
Yeah, and that's why I wasn't drinking. La madre. And then, so my sugar level spiked, and I couldn't see, dude. My vision went blurry. And that's when
that's when you curb checked.
I curb checked. And you should see that rim was horrible. But that's when I finally decided, all right, you know what? I need to call a doctor. And the reason why I hadn't done it before, because I was like, man, I got insurance, but I know the copayment is going to be expensive. I was like, fuck all that. I was like, I'm not going. And then I'm not going. And then, like, when I couldn't see no more, dude, I was like, all right, fuck, I got to go.
Yeah. I remember you were texting us that day.
Yeah.
You were like, I don't feel well, guys. What should I do? And we were all like, the fuck you mean? What should I do? You should be at the fucking doctor.
Yeah, no. And for the longest, I should have seen the coming because I felt like tired. I felt real tired. I was always thirsty, and I was fucking peeing like a cow, dude.
Yeah.
Como un toro, güey. Como un pinche toro ahí.
Hey, you at least got a fucking death benefit?
I do. I have a $300,000.
Don't tell the people, bro. They're going to come after you.
No, pues que me maten, güey. Ahí le toca a la gente que está registrada.
All the little skanks are going to get on your DMs just to get that paycheck.
Ahí están. Está bien que me den una bendición y ya después que se vayan.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, but yeah, and that's what it was. So like, and then to make it all worse, it happened during that week that we got that tropical storm. Y llovió toda la pinche noche. Luego en la mañana también it got worse.
Which storm was that one?
I don't know, dude. And then I had to go to work like that. They didn't cancel school. And I was like, motherfucker. I was like, I was shitting bricks on my way to work.
Whenever you got COVID, did you go get tested or no?
Nah, I had gone tested the week before and it came back negative.
That's when we found out moms had it, right?
Correct.
So then whenever you got it, you just said I have it and that was it? Yeah. You didn't think about going to get tested or what?
Nah, I just admitted. I was like, you know what? I got COVID.
But yeah, so why didn't you go back then?
Go back where?
To get tested to confirm it or whatever. Or you just like...
Oh, because the last time I had gone with Dad, dude, it lasted 2 hours. And this was like mid-August or the beginning of August.
You just didn't have patience for it?
Yeah, I was like, no, fuck that. And plus, it was all the symptoms too.
It's kind of funny because that's how a lot of, I guess Hispanics are. They're like, why am I going to go to the doctor? I already know they're going to tell me it's wrong. My blood pressure, my cholesterol, and I need to lose weight. I need to eat less food and all these other shit. But yeah, it's like they know, but they don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, well, why are you complaining about not feeling well and looking at what you're doing type shit?
No, that is true. I mean, that's the reason why a lot of Hispanics don't, especially because our food is pretty fatty. I mean, it's fucking delicious.
If it doesn't have sal.
Yeah,
tortillas,
mazola.
Yeah, there you go. And it's not a little bit either. You fucking échale un poquito.
Dude, it's un chingo, güey. So that's the reason why us Mexicans are fat. Hey, but you know what they say, right? Los gorritos estamos de moda, güey.
Oh, especially right now, it's
cuddle season, güey.
Cuffing season.
Is it cuffing?
Cuffing.
¿Qué verga es eso?
So, as your kids, they'll tell you about it. They probably know more about it than we do.
They probably do, dude. What the fuck?
It's where they cuff you down.
Damn.
50 Shades type shit.
Do you know what? I never watched that movie. That one, no.
It's all right.
Yeah, you would watch it. That's how I know you gay.
They say that one on Netflix is better, but I haven't seen that one on Netflix.
Pura pinche porqui, güey, mamalona.
Básicamente, güey, it's okay, I guess, as long as it's on Netflix.
But you know what? Right now that we go back to it, that
health topic.
Yeah, the health topic is just that we're in our deathbed, but even in our deathbed, before I guess a little bit slightly before we actually feel like we're dying, like truly dying, we revert to home remedies. Like, what can I do at home?
Yeah,
that my ancestors, and I'm gonna say ancestors, did when they felt this way. You know,
that's true.
So you drink something, or you take something, or you do something, and then you try to make yourself feel better.
But you know what's crazy though? Like, we see it as like, yeah, you're full of shit. This isn't gonna work. But you know, to actually sit back and think about it, they didn't have medication.
Correct.
Right. So whatever they did, they probably did it once and it worked, and they're like, well, fuck, next time I feel like this, I'm gonna do it again. And I guess that's kind of how they started, right? Maybe, I don't know.
And the way I look at it, I was like, dude, the medication comes from plants.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like they fucking create all this shit. They actually extract it from plants. Like el vaporú, have you ever smelled that la planta?
Eucalyptus?
Hey, I was like, I smelled it. I was like, damn, who vapor rub on this shit?
Yeah.
And you heard me say it, vaporú.
Hey,
that's how you know I'm Mexican.
Yeah, that's just.
Hey, ¿está tosiendo el niño?
That's a cure.
Ponle vaporú en los pies y en el pecho y en la espalda. La madre, ya mejor váyanlo con un vaporú.
You know what's funny? Side note, like, it's not a side note, but fucking Mateo, my son, he loves that shit, dude. As soon as he sees it, he's like, más.
Damn.
He wants it in his nose.
Parece a los cocaínos, güey, más en la nariz, güey.
That shit tripped me out, though. You know, because other kids, they don't like stuff like that up their nose because it's so strong. But this kid's like,
I like it when I'm stuffed in the nose and then like me lo unto como los boxeadores, güey. Así.
¿Estás seguro que no es cocaína, güey?
No, güey. Me lo unto como
boxeador, güey.
Sí. Me lo unto como los que te hacen el pinche test de COVID. Pasa la madre. Like te destapa bien chingón, güey. But no, yeah, dude, like especially ahorita cuando viene el frío, you know, empiezan las pinches que la garganta y todo ese pedo.
No te pones calcetines, no te pones las chanclas, you know, all that shit. You're walking barefooted on the cold floor.
O cuando acabas de jugar un deporte and you're like, your fucking feet are hurting y te quitas los shoes. Te vas a enfermar porque tienes el cuerpo caliente y estás pisando frío.
Ponte el suéter, te va a chingar el sereno.
Y sí, like...
And then I don't even think it happens. I think they just jinx you when they say that shit.
Y luego, güey, you like, me dio el COVID, ¿ves? Porque no te pusiste las chanclas. And you're like, what the fuck?
What did mom tell you when I guess you had the COVID symptoms?
When actually it was the other way around. When she got it, they blamed me.
Oh, for going out and
whatnot. Because I was going out, todo el pedo. They're like, oh, you got it somewhere, and then you brought it over here. But little did they know she got it at her sister's.
That's right.
So she got it over there, and I'm like, oh, here I am feeling like shit. And I actually like reduced my outings until I found that shit out. And like, oh, fuck that, I'm going back out.
But then you reduced them again once you got it.
Oh, yeah, once I got it, I really reduced it. And then I started going out, but I wasn't drinking. You know, y ya después empezó a valer y valió queso.
So would you say that people's way of thinking or acting changes once they get a type of sickness?
Yes, of course they do.
So what about, I guess you, right? You had you couldn't see your cholesterol and whatnot. And technically, you're not supposed to be drinking.
But the funny thing about that is...
Shots fired.
I know.
Versus sound effects.
And then I... like... I guess the nurse...
No, Junior.
Because it's funny because, you know, I called the nurse and they're all doing that video conference now, you know? So I told her my weight, todo el pedo, and she's like, oh, well, you got to be careful with your diet and all this shit. I'm like, lady, I fucking eat as healthy as like you. And because I eat non-starch veggies.
Yeah.
And then I eat non-fatty meats. You know, I try to make it sure it's non-fatty. I hardly drink any sugars, you know, and shit like that. Mm-hmm. But I guess because I told her my weight, she thought it was fat.
Well, I guess what people don't realize, though, like, it's obviously it's easy to judge a book by its cover, right? But I mean, you were thin back in your days. The only reason why you got big was because you had to get steroids whenever you had cancer.
Yeah.
And from that point on, you just kind of stayed big.
Me quedé mamado.
And then from that point on, you're just like, okay, this is how I am, then this is how I am type shit.
So it's been bulking season ever since, güey. That's what it is. It's bulking season.
Doctor's orders.
Sí, güey. Yeah.
But I mean, it's kind of a, like I said earlier, right? A double-edged sword, right? Because you didn't ask for these steroids, but you had to get them in order for you to stay healthy, right? So, and these are the long-term effects. Because even at one point, whenever you did had COVID, you lost, I don't know how many pounds, but you got thinner.
Yeah.
Because I was like, dang, is that still chago?
No, but then I realized that was because of the sugar. Like, todo el pinche sugar, todo el pedo.
And yeah, you're still eating fucking M&Ms.
Hey, wait, I told myself, if I'm going to die out of one candy, dude, it's going to be M&Ms. M&M peanuts, güey.
Isn't that every Hispanic's way of thinking? If I'm going to die happy.
Yeah, it is.
And sure enough, they're dying. They're like, I don't want to die like this.
You know what hurts me the most? The fact that you have to go to the hospital way, and then they save you, and then you're stuck in a huge ass debt.
Yeah.
And then you're like, fuck, I should have just died, like fuck paying this. I should have just died. Then and there. Like, I wouldn't have to deal with it.
And I guess that's kind of, one of the things we wanted to talk about, right? It's just when you see that, you think about the economic side of things, you're like, fuck, is it worth it?
Yeah, dude.
Is it worth to go to the hospital? And I know what the treatment is that I need.
No, I know what I have. Like, this person's going to confirm it. Like,
do I really want to pay that $50, $100 co-payment?
To this person to tell me what I already know, like.
The worst part is they tell you your diagnosis. They tell you your medication that you need. And they're like, ese doctor no sabe nada.
I know, dude. I know. But then we revert back to our Mexicanism. I'm going to call it Mexicanism. And we're like, all right, you know what? Let me find a curandero, güey. Un pinche curandero, un brujo or something que me quite todo este pedo. Yeah, for real. For some reason, we believe that brujos are the cure to a lot of these health issues.
Not just brujos, but like, say...
A lo mejor un brujo te quita los pendejos, güey. So I'm going to take you to one.
Look for one.
I'm going to take you to one.
No, but not only with, I guess, health, right? You also, I guess, physically, right? Like me, when I played soccer, I remember I dislocated my ankle.
La virga.
And... who was it, mom or dad or Christian? One of them, they knew el famoso El Sobadero, a.k.a. the Mexican chiropractor, right? And they fucking pop your shit like nothing. And then they're like, oh, yeah, you're fine. You can go back to normal. But, little do you know the long-term effects of this shit, right? Now my ankles pop like nothing. And I'm just like...
Yeah, mine too.
And it's like, it's normal to me. And then when Paola hears it, she was like... The first time she heard it, she was like, what was that? I was like, my ankles? My knees?
Yeah.
And she was like... That's not supposed to happen. I was like, oh, it's always done. So
Bandero said it was fine. Yeah. All right. So what do you know?
Imagine, think about it. I was like 13, 14 years old, dislocated ankle. It was a soccer tournament. I popped it that day, that Saturday. He popped it back into place that afternoon. By Sunday, I was playing.
Damn.
Tell me if I had gone to a quote unquote American healthcare system, what would they have told me?
Is you from Midland? You must be from Midland. No, come on, Friday Night Lights, way. He didn't want you playing the tournament way, and that's why you were gonna be mad, way.
But still, shit like that though, it's just like
no. Next time she questions shit like that, be like, "A ver, tú cuánta gente has sobado?" Yeah. I didn't think so, huh? I didn't think you had the same knowledge as this guy does here.
But I think I would have.
She'll probably punch you in the fucking face, dude.
Or kick me out. But I don't know that we had health insurance at that age when I was 13, 12 years old.
Well, I don't think it was as prevalent, or maybe it was, but
it was. We didn't grow up with it. We didn't know what. Well, not that we didn't know, right? Because obviously we were kids, but I don't think our parents knew exactly what insurance was, right? Mom's kind of had an understanding of what insurance was because she would always tell dad, find a job that has insurance. Because dad was a roofer, right? So he's self-contractor. All the money he made was just his money. He didn't think about, I need to pay for health insurance or anything like that.
That's the Mexican mentality. Right. Like, I need to make money to pay for goods and have to
food
spend.
On the table.
Like, health is not a topic again unless you're fucking dying.
And even then, you're just like, I got to go to work because I got to fucking pay the bills. But I don't. Like I said, I don't know that, that mom and dad knew about health insurance, or were as familiar with it, and B, that we had it, right? And granted,
we never had it.
It's one of those that unfortunately, only certain, I guess, industries have good benefits, right? And kind of leads to my point of saying that, in my opinion, is health is a business.
Oh, it is.
You know, insurance is a business, and it's a business like no other, right? And people are wondering, like, oh, you know, why can't everybody have insurance for free? Yada yada. You see all these other countries have insurance for free, and all these other things.
Here it's a business,
right? And it's kind of one of those things. If you take that away here, then you're taking away somebody's money.
Yeah, you're taking someone away's fucking big stack of money, big stack. That's why it's not free here, and then they do offer the Medicare and Medicaid, todo el pedo, way, but it's not the same.
The requirements and the quality of doctors that you're seeing it's kind of insane, right? Because I think our cousin, I think she had it or her kids have it. I can't remember, one of the two. And I was like, why don't you take him to a doctor? And she was like, I did. I set up an appointment. I was like, oh, okay, when is it? And it was like 2 months out.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking terrible.
Like, what the fuck? Like, what kind of shit is that? But it's obviously it's a system, right? That you can only go to a certain amount or certain doctors and all these other shits. And even then, dude, it's crazy how as you have insurance, you know, it's all a code game. Hell, we have insurance, right? We're blessed to have a good health insurance, and we took the kids to get their teeth checked, right? Their yearly teeth cleaning and whatnot.
Really?
And next you know, we get a bill from the fucking dentist.
That's the part that sucks the most.
Yeah,
when you're like,
we're like, why are we getting the bill? It's technically covered. They didn't do anything crazy. They just cleaned their usual 2 cleanings a year, and the fluoride that they put on their teeth and whatnot. And I was like, they didn't do anything else. And come to find out that the receptionist put in the wrong code. And so that's why by them putting in that code, we were getting charged this money. We were just like, that's not right.
No, it's just like for me, like when I looked at my card, because when I called my doctor, and then she's like, oh, the copay is going to be $160. I'm like, man, my card says $10. I'm like, where the fuck did this copay come from? That's when I was like, man, fuck insurance. Like, just let me die. Fuck it. Just take me. And then so that happened, and they gave me they prescribed me some medicine, right? So I go get my medicine at Walmart, and then I give them my card, todo el pedo. They put it in there, and they're like, oh, okay, you're paying nothing today.
What the fuck?
And I was like, oh, that's cool. Thank you. And then I look at the damn bottle, and that shit said $400.
Yeah, dude.
And then I was like, all right, fuck, I guess I'm going to keep insurance.
I guess call it even.
I guess it is. And but then again, like maybe 2 weeks later, they called me. They're like, hey, you know what? The insurance did finally cover it. We're going to refund you your money. Or do you want us to keep it for future use?
What the fuck?
I'm like, lady, I'm healthy now. Like,
I'm not planning any business anytime soon.
I'm trying to stay healthy, and look at this. I'm trying to stay healthy, right? Con una pinche chela aquí. And then so I was like, no, like you can give me the money back. So it's $160 back in my pocket, dude. I was like, yeah.
But you know what's crazy though is that who was it? The Obamacare or whatever administration implemented that whole you have to have insurance or else you get the penalty fee at the end.
It was
of the
Obama administration,
right? So a lot of people at first they were like, it's cheaper for me to not have insurance and pay that fee than to pay insurance and have shitty coverage. Mm-hmm. You know, because kind of how you say, right, your co-payment, your deductibles, your out-of-pocket maximums and all this shit. And it's stuff like that people don't really understand how it all works, that you just kind of like, okay, yeah, I have insurance, but like, do you really understand what your benefits are?
To be honest, that's the only reason I got insurance, because of the administration, Obama administration, because they were like, if you don't have insurance, you're gonna be fined, right? When you file for taxes, and that's the reason why I got the cheapest one, and I still have the cheapest one. Cause like I said, I know I look fat, but I still have a healthy lifestyle. Though I don't really exercise, but I watch what I eat, todo el pedo. Yeah,
but I mean, it's like I said, right? But whenever, like, going back to the kids situation, is I called the insurance. They're like, oh, actually, there's a medical certificate and all this shit. And the lady was like, oh, if you see this, it will show you what's covered and what's not covered and who knows what else. Just look it up. And sure enough, she took me to the portion of the dental part, and she was like, look, this is what you need to show them. And sure enough, I was like, hey, I called my insurance. It says it should be covered. Like, oh, well, no, technically it's not covered because of this, this, and this. And I was like, well, actually, based on the medical certificate, it should be covered. I actually have it here. I can send you a copy if you like. And at that point, their whole attitude changed. They were like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll look into it. It might have been something on our end.
Yeah, no, they knew they screwed up, and then they weren't trying to fix it because they were gonna.
But if people don't understand what they have as far as benefits goes, they'll take advantage of you because it's like I said, it's a business.
And here you are thinking like, oh, you know what? They're gonna fucking help me out. You thought
right?
better.
You put their trust in them, thinking like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll do it or whatever. Because I felt like a dick because I saw the charge and I texted Paula. I was like, I thought you said this doctor was in network. And she was like, it is. I was like, well, we're getting charged, so that must mean we're out of network. And so I'm over here getting mad about it, dude. And then sure enough, I was like, my bad. They messed up. It wasn't you, it was them. And so she was like, see, I told you they were in network because when I called them, they told me they were in network. And so I believed them. I was like, yeah, my bad. I mean, I couldn't say anything else besides my bad, right? So.
I mean, that's all you can do. Because if you slip up and you say something else, that's it. They're going for the jugular, bro, and you're done.
Yeah,
you're done with that. But I do have a question for you now.
What's that?
Now that you have insurance, like for yourself, because for you obviously use it for the kids to monitor their growth, y todo el pedo. But for yourself, do you find yourself going to the doctor more often?
I do. I mean,
instead of like home remedies.
I mean, the way I see it, it's one of those. I'm paying for it, so I might as well put it to use, right?
That is true.
And granted, as weird as it sounds, the industry I'm in, and I guess unfortunately, the energy and oil industries, they have good benefits in general for their employees, right? So it's kind of
well, yeah, with all that money they generate,
exactly.
I don't see why not.
And so we're technically considered low risk, right? Because we're sitting behind a desk and
So what am I, a high risk because I deal with badass kids?
Probably because I mean I don't know what granted it's a government job, so government people get screwed over in the sense,
of course
right?
we do. Yes.
But yeah, so I'm like, okay, well I'm paying money for this, so if I get my yearly checkup, right? They make me cough. I go get. I get that's the doctors, right? You get your yearly physical and shit.
Hey, apparently they don't do that shit to kids no more, man. I still remember.
Well, they never did.
Yeah,
they did that shit to you.
Yeah,
you got a fucking fucked up doctor.
No, dude. When I was I guess I was the last.
Well, is that the doctor though, or is that the school ones?
No, doctor, an actual clinic. And then so I remember going, bro, and when they make you pull your pants down and they put their pinky on your nutsack and they make you cough, you're like, all right, this is uncomfortable, but it is what it is.
Dude, you know what
and then you can't look at the doctor in the eye no more. You're like,
you don't make eye contact. That's the key. You never make eye contact. If they make you cough and you look down and you make eye contact, that gets awkward real quick.
They might think you're enjoying it.
But anyways, so I pay for this shit, so I'm like, okay, I have to use it. I get my yearly eye checkups, and because kind of how you said, I guess our parents' generation was to react, not to prevent.
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm here if I'm paying for this stuff, I'm trying to prevent things, right? And Correct. If I can catch it early and, change something, which even then, the bad thing is that we're fucking hard-headed. That he's like, you know what, I'll do it for like a week or two. And then you're like, okay, I'm doing good. And then you're a month in and you're like, all right, cool, I'm doing good. And they're like, oh, okay, all your numbers are back to normal. You're like, oh, fuck it, let's go back to the way we used to be.
Yeah, and you don't think hey, you know what, the way it used to be is why I'm doing this again. And here I go reverting back to it. Because it's your reward. You're waiting for them to say, oh, well, your numbers are back here. You're going back to whatever you were doing.
Yep.
And you're just starting the cycle all over again.
And that's how the insurance business works.
Yeah. I asked you if you go to the doctor more now that you have insurance. And on the piggyback of that, do you use remedies at home or do you use medicine, even if it's over the counter?
I think for me as an adult, I use medicine more. But for the kids, I actually, I call mom or I call Chona. I'm like, hey, the kids feel like this. What should I give them? They're like, oh, dale un té de jengibre or ponle Vicks en el pecho y en los pies. All the little home remedies because I don't want them exposed to the medication, right? Mm-hmm. And technically, I should, it's kind of hypocritical of me because I'm exposing myself to it as well, right? But to me, it's like, okay, well, I guess I say my body's fully developed, right? So that my body can take more of those those medications than theirs can.
But your maturity's not way.
It never will be.
You know, I know you're gay.
Are you gay? Does your mom know you're gay? That shows our age, guys, and our maturity.
They show our age and our maturity. No, but you know what? I'm like in the same boat. I'm actually the opposite boat of you. Like, for me, it's more of home remedies. Like, I try to do medicine, and then I'm like, damn, dude, this is affecting my liver some way, somehow.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck it. Cuando me da tos, güey, me chingo un pinche tequila mamalón, güey. I'm like, fuck it. Dice que se te quita, güey. Y ahí voy como pendejo, güey.
So, I guess, would you say that mentality is because when you had cancer, you had to take all these medications, and now you're just at a point where like, I don't want to?
It's just the fact that, like, there's things you can do at home and get the same result.
Gotcha. So I'm not.
It's cheaper.
I'm not putting you on blast here on purpose, but if you didn't live with mom, would you still say home remedies would be your go-to? Or you would.
They still would be.
Amá, tengo tos, ¿qué puedo tomar?
Yeah, I mean, because
fucking pussy.
Hey, man, it's about being fucking conscious of how much money you spend, dude. That's what it comes down to.
I literally when
como cuando te da diarrea, güey, te comes un pinche aguacate con todo y hueso, güey, para que te tape
when
la
I
cola.
made that voice, I pictured you that day where you had no food in the restroom.
Damn, you bringing this shit back, bro?
No comí hoy, no tenía lonche.
Te pasas de verga, Skeet.
Dude, I'm pretty sure whoever listened to it is probably like our 5 listeners had a good laugh.
Well, Cindy had a great laugh because she never heard that story. I'm pretty sure she busted out laughing when she heard that shit. And then I know when we're like with the gays, they fucking and they remember that story, dude. They fucking have a crack at that shit, dude. It's fucking hilarious, man. But you know, looking at it now, you know, and now knowing how insurance works, knowing how our health works, you know, what's healthy, what's not, what's good, what's not, you know. Do you try your best?
Es la coco.
I didn't get some madre. Do you try your best to be proactive instead of reactive, or do you catch yourself being more reactive?
Did you not hear what I said earlier?
No,
I take advantage of my yearly checkups, my dental checkups, because I already pay for them. So
no, but I meant like living lifestyle? A healthy lifestyle. Yes, lifestyle.
Yeah, I mean, I think overall, I guess, well, better yet, let me take that back, right? Because so prior to having kids, it was just kind of like, oh, you know, it's just the two of us. Let's go out to eat. Let's go out to drink. You know, whatever. Yada yada yada. And then we had a kid, and then we couldn't keep up with the kid. We're like, fuck. And we were only, what, 28?
Lo quería regresar.
28, 29 years old. And it was like, man, this kid's barely crawling. We can't keep up with this kid. What's wrong with us?
Yeah.
And sure enough, we started, you know, eating healthier, working out, losing weight. And then obviously Beatriz happened, right? And so then that backtracked.
Beatriz happened. You couldn't say we planned Beatriz. No.
Well,
Beatriz
she wasn't really planned, but she wasn't unplanned either. Right?
So it, like she was bound to happen. Just the time frame wasn't like the correct.
Well, you know, people are like, damn, y'all have courage for fucking having kids 14 months apart, right?
I'm not gonna lie, dude. When we babysat them, I looked at your mom like, damn, Nato had some fucking nuts having children back to back.
I think that'll be a good topic is family planning. I think,
yeah,
because you know,
planning especially because you know with our culture,
exactly,
there's not a lot of planning that goes on. It's more like, oops,
but you know, because to be honest, it's one of those that we struggle for like 6 months, 7 months. That whenever we had Mateo, we were like, okay, cool, and then he was born or whatever, and then whenever you know, Paula was recovering, we were like, okay, you know what, we won't prevent it, but we won't be trying technically, right? Like if it happens, it happens, because obviously we struggled for a little bit. That we're like, you know what, we're not gonna try to do anything that it stops. But then when it happened,
que sea lo que Dios diga.
Yeah, lo dejamos en las manos de Dios.
Ay, de su madre.
And Diosito says, "Estás cabrón."
¿Qué hijo?
So yeah, so then you know, next thing you know, we're like, oh fuck, we're pregnant. Mateo's barely 5 months. Fuck. Oh well, you can't do shit now. But what was I going with this? I don't know.
Que ya ni llorar es bueno, güey.
But yeah, we have bad threes, and the bad thing is that whenever you get, I guess you say you get pregnant, right? Because it's a family thing.
Correct.
It's just I'm craving this. Oh, I'm craving that. So you're like, oh, okay, yeah, let's go get this and let's go get that. And the next thing you know, she gets 1 or 2 spoons and she's like, oh, okay, I'm full. And then you're like, well, fuck. Like we talked about the food episode, right? Oh, fuck. I pay for this shit. I'm not going to let it go to waste now.
Dude, even if it tastes like shit.
Right. You're just like, okay, I'm eating my plate and then I'm eating her plate. I'm still taking her plate home. So, it's easy to gain that weight. It's easy to blame it on the pregnancy. Oh, well, it's a pregnancy. And then once she was born, it was just like, okay, you know what, we can go back to eating healthy. We're done having kids, and unless baby Jesus says otherwise. But it was just,
maybe
let's start eating healthy.
What
let's
if
start
instead of
out.
relying on baby Jesus, you rely on your pull-out game, player?
My pull-out game weak though.
It's weak, son.
Yeah, if you see you can my gas pumping is a good reflection of my pull-out game.
Looking like those gas pumps in the early 90s, way when you try to stop and it kept on pumping.
It never ends on the dollar, on the exact dollar. It's just like, I mean, to be real though, like when you're in the moment, you don't think about pull out.
Well, you do if it's not with the right person.
I'm just saying, right or wrong person. When you're in the moment, you don't think about it.
I don't know about you, man, but I do think about it.
You're in the wrong zone then.
No, man, I'm thinking about the benefits because right now I'm like, yeah, I'm having fun, and then I think I'm like, yeah, am I gonna be having the same fun in 9 months? Nah.
That's true. That's very true.
Because I'd rather pull out now than try to pull out 9 months and I will let it guess away. Because
they do say it doesn't have to be at the pull out. It can happen before too.
Yeah,
so
it can. You're right.
Yeah, I'm not a doctor or anything, so. I'm just a guy that sits behind the desk and tries to maintain good posture.
But I guess we're going back to the topic. Yeah. No, just the fact that you said, like you use your insurance to also help you stay proactive, like having your yearly checkups and doing all that stuff, todo ese pedo. Speaking of that, man, I need to go to the dentist, way.
Dude, you got like a month and a half to get. Have you gone to the dentist? Shit, you got to book your appointments back.
Well, no, ours is different because ours starts with the school year. Oh yeah, our insurance, it's different. Okay, yeah. So mine is hasta en agosto. No, julio, agosto, something like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, no, but yeah, you're right. The insurance does have its benefits, No
doubt. But then it's one of those things that if you don't know about it, and then I guess not that you don't know about it, if you're an immigrant.
And you can't get it.
Right, you can't get it. And you're scared of even going to a clinic because you're like, are they going to ask me for an ID? Yeah. Are they going to ask me for something that I don't have because I'm an immigrant? You're just like, I'll just suck it up.
It's going to go away.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to go away.
I'll do a little home remedy for a couple of days until I feel better. And then, if I feel good, then cool. If not, then...
Hey, that was the reason why a lot of people didn't get tested for COVID either.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why people were scared to go get tested. Documentation.
It was I remember when mom and dad had to go get tested. They asked you for your driver's license, right? And I don't know what it's like now, right? Because I haven't done it or registered anybody for it. But I want to say that some locations they made it specifically towards the Hispanic culture or people, right? Because they're like, they would flat out say, immigration status does not matter, yada yada type shit. Because immigrants were scared of saying, "I want to get tested, but I don't have a form of license or a form of ID."
Yeah, form of ID, dude. No, that's crazy, man. Like, it sucks. It's a sucky situation, but it's the reality of things. It's the reality of how they're affected by all this. But on the flip side, though, there are those Mexicans who can come in and go out. They have the documentation. And they choose to go down to Mexico to get treatment. And I'm one of those motherfuckers. Why? All right? Because the treatment for my eyes is terrible.
Have you guys ever seen him? Look at his eyes. Pay attention to his eyes. Next time you hang out with him.
For real, dude. It's terrible.
Our cousin makes fun of him left and right whenever she gets a chance. But it's one of those that not only do you go because it's cheaper, because you see the quality of that you're getting, healthcare that you're getting, right? These doctors, they don't beat around the bush. They're not worried about a code just to get paid.
Yeah, no, over there it's actually pretty cool. It actually gets resolved like in a matter of days. It's not like here where it takes weeks. The way you go over there, it like a lot of this shit gets resolved in the same day.
Yeah.
There's no that, oh, well, you come back in a week and we'll look. No. Que vergas. It's like you get there, they fix you, and then like, all right, here you go. You just make sure you don't fuck up by doing this, and this. Like me, my eye situation, dude, it was expensive here. It wasn't being covered by the insurance at the time.
How much were they charging you? Like $1,200, $1,800?
No way. It was like $2,000 per eye. And then
what were they gonna do?
It give me contacts. Yes,
special contacts per se.
And I was like, fuck. And that's only one pair of contacts.
Radio.
Yeah, pinche vato, what the pasas, güey. And then so, we had Tia who lives down there, and she helped me find a specialist in this. And like with the flight, 2 pairs of contacts, glasses. I paid $500.
You got glasses too? No,
just contact. Because it's a glass contact, like it's actually glass.
Okay.
And so I paid $500. Dollar después. Total. Look, the equivalent $500. I was like, damn. And then so I keep going with that doctor because she knows she's a specialist in that. She knows all this stuff. Like even when I got sick with
COVID?
No. The sugar thing, when I couldn't see.
Yeah.
Like I got freaked out and I called her. I was like, hey, you know what? My vision has changed. I want to make an appointment to go get a new prescription. And she was like, well, I saw your picture in el WhatsApp. And then WhatsApp way.
Oh, you got that kind of relationship with your doctor.
And then she was like, you look thinner, so I was wondering if you had like sugar or something, because you can notice the difference. And I was like, you know what I did? She was like, well, it tends to happen. Your pupils dilate, or algo así, she told me. And she's like, it'll take about a month and a half to 2 months for it to get back to normal, so just hang in there and all this shit. So she told me everything that my doctor here did not tell me. And I was
she didn't charge you $160 copayment?
Yeah, she didn't charge me a damn thing, dude.
Did you send her a good Christmas? Or
no, I'm going to take it to her now that I go. So I'm going to take her a good Christmas gift. And she was actually nice enough to order me a pair of contacts because, my eyesight was so horrible that I had scratched my eye. Like, I was really, scratching my eyes, and one of the contacts fell off. And then, so, it was horrible, dude. It was just, it went from bad to worse. So she overnighted a pair of contacts for me.
Damn, ¿qué le hiciste, güey?
Sí, hombre, güey.
Qué favor, mamolón, que le hiciste,
pinche carita que tengo, güey. So, no, but anywho, to me, that's another option, güey.
But I mean, it makes sense, though, because I remember Mom saying, she would go get glasses, right? Because she would go first, right? And she was like, oh, I'll get them, in a day or two.
Oh, and you get them in 30 minutes?
Or that, right? But here you have to wait should I have to wait 2 weeks? Mm-hmm. Business days. That bullshit business days.
No, dude, and they got the full technology. They're tinable. They got that blue for light. Yeah. Dude. And I was like, damn. And I get them in 1 day, and I remember I paid out of pocket.
Arm and leg.
And they were it was the equivalent of $100.
Shit.
Or $150. And now they're like, yeah, just go eat and come back in an hour and we'll have them ready.
The fuck?
I was like,
you know what's funny? So my vision is not as bad as yours, but I remember the first time, Paola and I were in the same benefits or whatever, and I went to go get glasses, and I think they were $500, dude. Right, it was because I had to get the thin lens because I'm blind as fuck, and then I get the reflection and all the other bullshit, right? And she was like, "What's wrong with your eyes?"
It runs in the family,
right? So that was the first time, and then so the second year that I went, that I was with her, she was like, "Do we have the money saved up for your eyes?" I was like, "Yeah, we do," but because it's one of those that it's not a cheap visit.
It's not, especially here, if it's related to health, it's a fucking business. Mm-hmm. It's a business here. Over there in Mexico, actually, if it's related to health, it's to try to get you to feel better.
Well, shit, what trips me out is granted, when I first got benefits, right, I started working full time. I was like, oh, you get a free eye test or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, yeah. Well, and then so I get contacts, right? And so I get my eye test done, and they're like, oh, do you want to get contacts as well? And they're like, yeah. I was like, yeah. And they're like, oh, okay, we'll do another test on you, right? And so then they do the other test on me, and
Te picaron por atrás, güey. A ver cómo estabas.
they
You
did.
should have been like, hey, yeah, it's still not.
I don't feel it.
Yeah.
I don't feel it. But so then they did the other exam, right? And then I go to pay, and they're like, "Oh, okay, it's like $80 fee or whatever the fuck." And I was like, "Why is it $80? It's my insurance covers it." And they're like, "Oh, it covers the regular eyeglass test. It doesn't cover the eye contact test."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What the fuck did y'all do any different?" There was no difference there. It was the exact same shit, but it was just because you're getting contacts.
That's their way of like getting you to pay extra, shit like that, man. But that's the reason, like I said, why I choose to go down to Mexico sometimes for healthcare, because they're really about like making people be healthy again and not actually trying to charge them an arm and a leg, So I do trust Mexican doctors. I mean, shit, an eye is an eye, whether you're here or on the fucking other side of the world.
They do say that, I think Mom said it or Tia said it, that a lot of Cuban doctors go to Mexico to practice, right?
No. A lot of Mexican doctors go to Cuba to practice.
Ah, okay, because they have some of the best medicine out there, right? Unfortunately, they're in the situation that they're in, but besides that, apparently they do have good medicine out there.
Apparently, they have a good way of teaching medicine too.
Shit, I don't know about that.
So that
I'm gonna go try to be a doctor over there.
No, man, but So, to close it off, la última nos vamos, güey. Because you know why la última nos vamos? Because it never happens. You never have la última. You like, te chingas como unas 3 más, 4 más.
Llegó alguien y llegó,
y ya seguiste la peda, and then you're like,
have
fuck.
another one.
And that's how it is with this topic, where we start off like, oh, okay, well, let's finish it off again. And then we go like on a 5-minute tangent. Instead of saying, hey, y'all join us on whatever
Instagram,
social media is. Yeah, todo ese pedo.
Facebook.
But no, we start like right now, we're just going off on a tangent. What do you see yourself relying on more? Like the Mexican side of things or the American side of things, and going like towards the future with your kids, like which one are you going to teach them more?
I guess I kind of said it right. With my kids, the way, their body's still developing, I want them to get as much.
What about when they're grown?
Natural remedies as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Once they're grown, I mean, I can't be hypocritical, even though I am at the time, right? But it's like, okay, the doctor says to take allergy meds or to take whatever the hell it is.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's what I'm gonna do, right? I mean, I guess I'm not a doctor to be able to question them. That if they say, "Hey, here's a medication, take it," I'm like, oh, "Okay, cool, take it." And granted, we said a lot of things that make it seem like doctors are in it for the business, but there are some doctors that they genuinely do care for their patients, and they're like, "Hey,
they do care for their practice too,
right?" And they're like, "Hey, you know what you're feeling is because of this, and this, be strict on your diet, take these over-the-counter meds, take a multivitamin, exercise more." They actually give you remedies that are, I guess I would say, affordable, rather than, here's this medication that you have to take from now. They don't take it for a period, right? Because I remember for a while I had my triglycerides high.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, here, take this medication." And now, like, my dumbass was just taking it and taking it and taking it.
That's what I'm doing right now. I'm just taking it and taking it and taking it.
Until Mom said, "No le hagas caso. This is some pendejadas. You just got to use a low carb diet and all this other shit." And sure enough, I started eating better. And the next time I went to the doctor, and they were like, "Oh, your numbers are lower. Did the medication help?" I was like, "Oh, actually, no. I stopped taking the medication. I just started eating a low carb diet and whatnot." And they were like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'm glad to hear."
Yeah.
But had I not said otherwise, I would have been there like a dumbass paying for medication that was not needed.
So do you think that doctors rely on medicine so that it's like the immediate cure? Though they could tell you like, "Oh, well, eat healthy," but that's gonna take even longer to lower the or
it's
to
hard,
have an impact.
It's hard to tell because it's kind of one of those where you learn to practice dictates your what's the word I'm looking for? Not your
play the game.
Your beliefs, I guess, right? I'd say if you go to a school that's heavily on medicine and research on medicine and so on, it kind of seems like they're going to sway towards, hey,
correct,
medication is going to give you this way. And that's kind of one of the things we looked at with our kids, right? It was what pediatrician does not believe heavily on medication. Granted, there are certain things you have to give them medication. And sure enough, you ask them, they're like, oh, you know what, I'd rather not give them medication. I'd rather,
correct,
let their bodies fight it, develop the antibodies and fight it out themselves and build their immune system and all these other things that, that was one of the things that we were just like, okay, that's what we want for our kids. But for me, and now I'm just like, and granted, my mentality changed. I'm like, you know what, I'm older, I'm fine, I can deal with the type shit. And
I can take
but in reality, it should be, I should do whatever I can to prevent and to take care of my body, including, taking unnecessary medications.
Yeah. No, I'm just.
What about you?
Me? Man, I don't know. My kid, being raised like in a real Mexican household, just I guess it'll affect me. It's more of a Mexican kind of thing, like trying not to take medicine, because all the chemicals and whatnot. So try to do like a more natural thing, true.
Well, yeah, he just went to the dentist, right? And he didn't take any
anesthesia,
right?
No anesthesia. No, they took it out like a G.
Is it like a G, though?
Yeah.
Would you have taken anesthesia?
Fuck yeah. Fuck going to the dentist, dude.
I mean, I'm just saying, because when I read that, I started hurting. I was like, granted, I hate the dentist, period. Yeah. But, I'm just like, if I can get anesthesia, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, me too.
Fuck the bullshit.
Fuck all that, dude. No, man. No, but I think we had a...
So whenever they come here, will your benefit plans change, or will you maintain them the same? Will you pay that little extra, or I don't know how much extra.
I'll pay the little extra just to, like, I guess at the beginning, to make sure that everything is the way it should be, and then find ways to maintain it. Find homemade ways to maintain it. And
granted, I guess that would be the good thing about your household, right? That your wife's coming from Mexico, so hopefully she knows a lot of these home remedies that you don't have to Google or text somebody and, oh, well, we do this, and then somebody says, oh, well, we do this, but with a little bit of that, and next you're like, well, what the fuck do I do, right?
No, yeah, but it's a good. It's good knowledge to have, It's good knowledge to have.
No doubt. I mean,
as you get older.
I guess the good thing is whenever you have these home remedies, that'll be your first go-to.
Correct. And if it doesn't, it doesn't affect, then you go to doctor.
It's rather than just, hey, the baby's coughing, call the doctor.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to do that because especially when they're babies, and like for example with Mateo, he was our first. He woke up in the middle of the night one time crying. We're just like, what the hell's wrong? He wouldn't stop crying, and he had like this dry cough. So we're like, fuck. It was like 2 a.m.
Damn.
Fucking went to the ER. And then next thing you know, we learned about this the croup cough.
La madre.
And I was just like, what the fuck? And sure enough, right, he had to get like some sort of steroid or whatever.
Yeah.
To help him fight off this cough and shit. And sure enough, we get a bill. And we're like, $500. We're like, well, fuck. And that's because you have insurance. Imagine if you didn't have it.
If you didn't, yeah.
The thing is, they show you the bills without insurance, and you're just like, what the fuck? They didn't even do shit. We literally had to wait in the waiting room for 4 hours just to tell us they had a fucking cough and just to give them a steroid. And the steroid was like, then it wasn't like a drastic, like fucking big old bag or anything like that. It was literally just like a little milliliter, if that.
Damn, dude, that sucks.
But it's shit like that that it makes you paranoid. And you're like, okay, that's why I need to have insurance. It's not one of those. I mean, I guess as you get older, like I said, you become hypocritical. It's like it's not about me, it's about them. But in reality, you need to be healthy as well to be able to take care of them. I think it was one of our doctors or somebody told us, you have to be 100% so you can have your family at 100%.
That is true.
But sometimes we forget about that, right? To us, being 100% means 100% at work.
At work, yes. Being able to provide for the family.
Rather than 100% healthy.
Yeah. Being able to provide for the family is the priority for us, And that's a Mexican thing. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to say it's a Mexican thing. It's a hardworking mentality, People who are hardworking like that, they have that mentality like, hey, I got to go to work and I got to do all this to make sure everything is paid for.
Yeah.
So I can't take a day off,
I mean, that's just how. I guess that's how we're wired. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and it actually is going to go into what we're going to talk about next topic. I'm not going to say next week.
Yeah.
Last time we said that was almost a month ago. So next topic, it's actually like professionalism, professional work, being raised blue collar, almost not even blue collar, dude, being raised like, what do you call these people who work the land? ¿Cómo se llaman?
Agricultural.
Yeah, but in español, ¿cómo se llama
Albañiles? No.
No, albañiles are the ones who like houses y todo ese pedo. Who work in the
I don't know what the word.
But the people who work the fields, just being raised off of those values, and then going to the white collar jobs, it just it's a big transition, it's things you're not prepared for. There's no way you can prepare for it, like interacting wise, because working hard is the same whether you're fucking working at McDonald's or you're working at some engineering firm. You're gonna work hard, because
so we're gonna talk shit about me next episode.
No, vato, I
got a whole week to prepare.
Dale, culo.
No, it's true though. I mean, it's one of those that I've been fortunate to be a mentor to some college kids, and it's kind of one of those. They're like, "Oh, well, I don't have the job experience," and I'm like, "Okay, tell me a little about yourself, right?" And sure enough, they kind of have a similar. Not to get further into this topic, right, but a little bit into that hardworking mentality, right, surviving and so on. I was like, okay. I was like, tell me a little about your family. Like, oh, we did this and this. I was like, okay. Well, didn't you have to learn how to treat people with respect and communicate with your aunts and uncles? Treat them. Yeah. How you're supposed to treat them or whatever the case may be.
Talk to them in a certain way, right, with mannerisms.
And then they're like, yeah. And I was like, use that, right? Use that to say you have some sort of professionalism. Yeah. That is professionalism. Even though it's not taught to us, it's a form of professionalism. Yeah. But people don't realize it, right?
This the word finally came to me. Huh? La gente del campo, gente campesina.
Ah, yeah, there you go.
And those are mentalities that we were brought up with, because our parents, that's how they grew up, trabajando en el campo. So that's all they taught us, that they didn't teach us like fucking, all right, go grow crops y todo ese pedo, but they taught us like, hey, you know what, whatever you decide to do, just make sure you're always putting your best effort into it, So that's gonna be the next topic though.
Yeah.
We're getting a little too ahead of ourselves.
That's kind of a reason why we haven't been able to record, right? It's just I was out having to travel for work, and it's not you travel and that's it, right? You travel and you come back, you play catch up, and
you have to play catch up.
But it's not bad. It's one of those you can't say no to opportunities. So
yeah, you get to travel and you get to learn. So
right, exactly.
It's beneficial.
And granted, it was fun, right? You guys saw my karate video or my boss's karate video.
But yes, that's a topic we're gonna elaborate with next time. So for now,
excuse me.
Tell them where to join, because you got all that stuff.
So I guess I should probably get us more active on Instagram. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook, and I think that's it for now. We got to find ways to interact. And
if y'all have any suggestions how to interact better, let us know. Shit, we're down. We're down.
We're definitely not the most social media savvy people.
We are savvy. We're just not interactive with it. We don't really
that's true.
Interact with it as much as we should.
And I guess we got to hire like a PR, a personal representative, social media coordinator person. But we can't hire somebody because we're poor.
Yeah. Está cabrón, güey.
But yeah, if anybody has suggestions on how for us to get,
I feel like you just it sounded like one of those commercials que salen como a las 2 de la tarde. I want to get a better job, but I can't because I don't have the skills, and I don't have the skills because I didn't go to school, and I can't go to school because I have a job, and they just like they cycle on like that. That's what you just sounded like.
My bad. But yeah, I mean, you guys have any suggestions? Like I said, Instagram, Facebook. I think that's it. I don't know that we have any.
Spotify.
Oh well, yeah. Listen to us on Spotify. Listen to us on YouTube.
The YouTubes.
Comment, message, like, subscribe,
share.
If you guys heard us talk about something, would want us to talk about it more, let us know. We have a lot of pretty cool experiences. We're slowly getting there, but
even if even if it's like one of those where we have to do like during the week, and if it's a Zoom call.
Yeah,
fuck it,
no doubt. We can make it happen.
We'll elaborate on. I think that's one of the things we haven't been able to do, or we haven't done either. Is just elaborate on things.
Yeah, and it's cool to get people's perspective, right? And granted, I think that's kind of what we're working towards with the next episode. Is we're gonna talk about from our perspective, but then get other people's perspective as well. So,
but stay tuned to that. We'll definitely have a good one for y'all next time around.
And it won't be a month later.
Hopefully it's not. Don't say that because we still got things even coming up.
That's true.
But anywho, signing out. Peace,
out.
people.